Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and today we're talking about the Quest 3S versus the Quest 3. Now, the reason I'm sitting on the ground is because it took a long time to write the script for this video because I had to find so much information, and your boy's tired. We're going to take a look at Meta's newest VR headset, the Quest 3S, and one of the little bit older ones, the Quest 3. We're going to compare both of these headsets and see which one's better for you. And if you don't know for some reason, the Quest 3S just got announced at Meta Connect 2024, and if you haven't watched it, make sure you go back and watch it because it actually might have been the best Connect I've seen. So we got the Quest 3S announcement and pre-order open with a price update to the Quest 3. But, and a big but, before we get into the video, I do want to ask you guys, make sure you hit the subscribe and like button because a lot of you guys pull up and you don't hit the sub button, man. I'm like, dang, I know the content okay, at least, you know? So make sure you hit the like and subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell to get more notifications from your boy when I put out videos. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room, and that is price. The Meta Quest 3S starts at $299 for 128 gigs of storage, and then jumps to $399 for 256 gigs of storage. Meanwhile, the Quest 3 comes in at $499 for a bigger jump of 512 gigs of storage. So basically, it's about $299 versus $499 for this comparison. That's a whole $200 difference. And some people thought I was kind of crazy for trying to compare this, but honestly, this is a lot closer than you think. Now let's talk about specs. Both of these headsets share the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip and 8 gigs of RAM. So basically, the performance is genuinely the same. But with that being said, we do have to look at the key differences to do a really good comparison. The Quest 3S has 1832 by 1920 resolution. Meanwhile, the Quest 3 has 2064 by 2208 resolution. So obviously the Quest 3 is going to be better looking than the Quest 3S. But they kind of had to do that to make the Quest 3S actually affordable. Especially at a $299 price, you gotta make some changes and cuts to keep that consistency. But there is a big catch though to those resolutions because a lot of the games people are trying to play like Batman, Assassin's Creed Nexus, Asgard's Wrath, and a few other more intense standalone games aren't really getting up to those max Quest 3 resolutions that we just discussed. Now, this isn't a bad thing because you do want frame rate over graphics any day, personally, but this should be noted for our comparison because it is really important in your decision. So just to make sure your standalone games don't run like trash, they do have to dumb down the resolution in certain cases to kind of get that higher 90 FPS or 70 or whatever FPS they want to go for. Another key difference is the lens types. So with these two headsets, they have two different type of lenses. The Quest 3S keeps up the trend from the Quest 2 having those oh so terrible Fresnel lenses with a single LCD display type. Meanwhile, the Quest 3 has those sweet pancake lenses, which come with a dual LCD display. Now, contrary to what you may see on Reddit, especially VR Reddit and VR Twitter, Fresnel lenses aren't that bad, y'all. And they especially aren't the end of the world if you have them on your VR headset. No. Memeing aside, I must say, once you go to those pancake lenses, especially with like a LCD or micro OLED, it's kind of hard to go back. But it is not the end of the world like most people will try to convince you, especially the real Quest heads. Now, the thing is with the Fresnel lenses versus the pancake lenses, you do get a lot of glare with those Fresnel lenses, and they can be a little blurry at certain points, especially trying to get to that sweet spot in the middle. Fresnel lenses also come with less FOV in this case. The FOV for the Quest 3S is going to be smaller than the 3 because, I mean, you have only so much space on those Fresnel lenses compared to those giant pancake lenses will give you a lot of FOV. If you're a person who really treasures FOV, like if you've done VR before and you really want more FOV, then obviously the Quest 3 is going to have that higher FOV with those nice pancake lenses. Only thing is that sometimes with those pancake lenses, the colors can kind of be drowned out. But that's personally just a preference thing for me because I've come from the PSVR 2, the Valve Index, the Big Screen Beyond. I've been around a few different headsets, so I can kind of tell the difference. But if you're somebody who's never played VR before or coming from the Quest 2, then you really won't notice the difference, to be honest with you. So to sum up our little conversation here, don't listen to the Quest heads online. Fresnel lenses are perfectly okay for VR, MR, anything that you need them for. Speaking of lenses, the IPD of said lenses are adjusted very differently. The Quest 3 has continuous IPD adjustment and can range from 53 to 75 millimeters, while the Quest 3S has a 3-step IPD adjustment system. So just like the Quest 2, they can range from 56 to 60 millimeters, 61 to 65 millimeters, or 67 to 70 millimeters. Personally, for me, I like the continuous IPD adjustment because I have a higher IPD and usually only those can really get to my IPD. So Continuous adjustment is the way for me. But obviously, like I said before, they had to cut some costs to get this thing cheap, so I get it. And honestly, for most of you people with normal IPDs, it'll be just fine. The Quest 3 also offers a wider range of refresh rates from 72 Hertz all the way up to the big 120. And you're probably wondering why such a wide range of refresh rates. Well, the thing is, a lot of these games run very differently. You might have a game that can run at 120 standalone. You might have a game running at 72 standalone, or some games that kind of hit the 90 Hertz standalone, which is really like the sweet spot for me. And even on the PCVR side, depending on how strong your PC is, some games you might not be able to get up to 90 Hertz. Just saying. So having that 72 right there definitely helps a lot of people. Like if you're playing like Microsoft Flight Sim, that's a very intense game. Half-Life Alyx, an intense game. So be glad it's 72. Now for the Quest 3S, from what I researched, it is 90 Hertz and 120 Hertz refresh rates. Now that isn't bad because even the Quest 3 started off with less refresh rate options, but over time they added, more refresh rate options. So the thing is with Quest headsets, they evolve over time like not many other pieces of technology I see, especially in the VR market. That's pretty much why we buy their headsets, because once you buy a Quest headset, it is guaranteed to change over the years as you own it. Moving on to Passthrough or mixed reality, both the Quest 3 and the 3S offer Passthrough and mixed reality, allowing you to interact with your environment around you while you still have your headset on. So basically it's blending reality with digital stuff, pretty much. Now they both use sensors on the front of the headset for the Passthrough and MR, but the thing is, you're not getting the same mixed reality experiences on both of these headsets. The Quest 3 has a depth sensor that makes a large difference when it comes to mixed reality experiences. It can actually scan your room and remember it in real time. You'll see in a lot of the Quest 3 commercials, a lot of people have like decorations and statues around and stuff like that. And that's because the Quest 3 is actually keeping track of where that stuff is in their house, which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Now the Quest 3S does not have that depth sensor, but with that being said, it is leagues and miles above the Quest 2 in terms of mixed reality. And honestly, it's probably the cheapest and best option for affordable mixed reality, especially with this VR option. And honestly, I was genuinely surprised how good the mixed reality looked on the Quest 3S, especially at that price. Like that is, it's pretty good, guys. The main thing that the Quest 3S has over the Quest 3 is the new action button they added at the bottom of the headset. So before on the Quest 3, you usually had to tap the side of the headset like a madman to get to the pass-through mode to see around you. And honestly, that's probably one of my least favorite features about the Quest 3, because at first it's cool until it doesn't work and you're like, okay, you're just tapping the side of your headset and it's just like, it's really annoying. But with the Quest 3S, you actually get a button at the bottom so you can just go right into pass-through just with a tap of the button, which is just so much better. And shout out Meta for actually getting that feedback from people who hated pass-through mode and actually, innovating and adding a button for it. In terms of battery life, here's what you need to know. So the Quest 3S does have slightly less battery than the Quest 3, but honestly, that's totally fine in this case because, guys, it's $299. And you gotta remember the fact, it depends on what you do on your headset. Now, if you're doing PCVR, that thing's gonna die fast regardless of what you do to it or what type of battery you have built into it. Especially if you're doing mixed reality, because it takes up a lot of battery. I mean, you have the sensors on, it's tracking everything, remembering stuff in real time. It takes a lot of compute, and a lot of compute takes a lot of power. So honestly, I recommend some charging accessories. And honestly, if you want some, go to the description below, check out CyberVR and MVR in my description, use my code MartydudeVR, and I can get you a 10% discount. Help me help you save some money. Now for PCVR, which I know a lot of you guys care about, the Quest 3S and the Quest 3 are pretty much equals when it comes to PCVR power. If you're one of my people on the Quest 2, the Quest 3 generation is a really crazy leap for PCVR. I mean, the encoding you can get up to, there's even special option on virtual desktop. And you got other options like AirLink, Steam Link, link cable. And there's a bunch of other things you can do to get into that PCVR experience. If you get your headset, you need help setting everything up, check out one of my older videos. I go through the whole thing. Every single option for PCVR, I break it down, I show you how to set it up. And it's honestly probably one of the better videos, not to my own horn, of just PCVR setup. All right, guys, before we get into your final decision, and before some of you leave, I must say that I have an affiliate link in the description below for the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, and I would love it if you guys will use it because it does give you $30 in Quest Cash. You get Batman Arkham Shadow for free at launch, and you get a few months of MetaQuest Plus for free with your purchase. So if you guys want me to do more stuff on this channel that costs money, I'm definitely gonna need some assistance on that side. So I definitely appreciate those who do use it. Thank you. All right, promo aside, which one is the better buy? I would say that if you're on a budget, the Quest 3S is a amazing option, and maybe even undefeated at that price range. Especially being $299, you still get the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip, you get the 8 gigs of RAM, and you get some really good visuals. Plus, and honestly, the most important thing is that it's lighter on your wallet. If you don't mind missing on some of the premium features of the Quest 3, like pancake lenses, depth sensors, and continuous IPD adjustment and other things, then I definitely say go for the Quest 3S. I mean, you can't really miss, guys, I'll be honest with you. But if you're after the absolute best in terms of clarity, design, battery life, the Meta Quest 3 is the way to go. It is probably the best right now premium standalone VR headset on the market, especially at $499, dropping $100. It's pretty hard to beat. With the improved display resolution, higher storage capacity, the thinner pancake lens design, and everything else that elevates your overall VR experience, is honestly just one of the best headsets out right now, especially when it gives you a bang for your buck. But like I said, with each of these choices, you really don't miss, guys. Honestly, guys, it really comes down to what you can afford at the time. I would say that the Quest 3S would be really good for kids who have a Quest 2 and just want a stronger, VR experience. I think it'd go really good under your Christmas tree, especially being at a crazy affordable price, and I generally do see these selling out by the time Christmas gets here. I know a lot of the kids are gonna be gorilla tagging this Christmas, and honestly, the Quest 3S is probably gonna be the best way for them to do that. Now, am I gonna review the Quest 3S on this channel? Probably not, and that's just because, I mean, I don't really get sent stuff like that. And then two, I got bills, man. I got bills, so if you guys wanna just use my affiliate links and just buy some stuff, I can get commission, and then boom, I can be able to get a Quest 3S, for the low. But I can do these type of videos I have in the headset because I know VR, XR, I know specs. Hopefully one day we can get to that Quest Creator Program, but we're gonna see. All right, guys, that's it for today's showdown between the Meta Quest 3S and the Meta Quest 3. So which one are you guys looking forward to? Which one are you leaning towards buying? Let me know in the comments below because I love hearing your opinions. And remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on this video because you guys got to get more VR content from your boy. But always remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.